Welcome to the shit show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery. Cause everybody's such, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of clots. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, hey, what the fuck? And then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balderdash.
Holy fuck, I'm so sorry. I zoned out and did not realize that it was 20 minutes past. I am so sorry. Oh. Anywho, hello, Frosty Broccoli and Sashi and Curtis. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry I'm late. Oh my god. I feel so bad. Sorry, I got zoned out and then I was looking up stuff and I just lost track of time. I am so sorry. There is no proper excuse. There really is not. Other than I'm silly. Anywho, so let's see. Not entirely, don't forget. Not entirely. Apparently some of this chat is missing. I'm guessing. So don't forget the majority of the media companies are privately owned. Yes. Pretty much. I think after a lot of the shit with Nixon, I think they more or less started to crack down on reporters. Maybe even more recently. Howdy. Greetings, everyone. So glad that you're here. It's early morning here. Oh, dang. Oh, that's right. You're in, I feel so bad. I want to say Asia, but I'm like, what if I'm wrong? And then I was like an asshole. Hello, Curtis. Ah, the lovely Miss Frosty Broccoli. Hello, darling. Anyway, yeah, I'm so sorry I'm late. I still feel so bad about that. I know it's not the worst thing ever, but I still feel pretty bad. I feel super confused by that because a lot of times people talk about the alphabet, this and that. They're talking about the LGBT. I'm assuming that you mean CIA, FBI, ATF, which ATF ought to be a convenience store, but whatever. We've got to figure out how to separate how we say that so we don't get confused. Otherwise, you make it sound like the LGBTQ has controlled the media since 1963. Oh, damn. Did someone close the door hard? What the fuck? Who the hell is slamming doors like they pay bills? Mouse? So, okay, all right, it is Asia. Okay, cool. I was thinking it was somewhere in Asia, and then I felt bad. I was like, what if I'm wrong and I'm an asshole? So, okay, so I did remember you were somewhere in that general area. Okay. I'm usually not good at remembering where people are, but that's kind of a good thing because it's like a built-in way of if anyone goes, hey, do you know where so-and-so lives? I'll be like, I ain't got a fucking clue. So I'd be like, I don't remember. Shit. Anyways. All right, so I'm not sure, I'm not what kind of order I'm going to do this in. Oh, okay. So I saw this headline the other day, and I'm just dying. We're going to mix it up. Most of it's going to be the stuff going on in the Middle East, but there will be a few things that don't have anything to do with that. But this does. Let's see. All right. So according to one of their publications, they would have aborted the mission, basically, the deadly strike in Rafah last week, if they had known there were civilians nearby in makeshift accommodation. I'm sorry, you told everybody to go south to Rafah. Where the fuck did you think the civilians were? If they would just say, you know what, we made explosion bigger than we fucking meant to, our bad. At least that would have been at least half believable. Halfway believable? Not really, but a little bit. But they're saying, oh, we wouldn't have done the deadly strike if we'd known there were civilians in makeshift accommodations. Well, judging by this, they have aerial views. They can see shit. Oh, I think they're showing specifically what they hit. Well, these little makeshift places. Because, yeah. I don't know. Some of it seems kind of... I'm not an expert in explosives, but this footage does look a little strange to me, to be honest. But, anywho, that is such a goofy thing to say. If we knew there had been civilians in the nearby area, we wouldn't have done it. what's interesting is when it first happened, they were like, fuck yeah, we did it. Yeah. And then, like, they realized for some reason this one just didn't sit well with everyone. They're like, oh, fuck. So then they tried to claim they actually didn't do it. And now they're going, well, all right, we did, but we wouldn't have done it if we'd known there'd been civilian. No, you wouldn't have done it maybe if you thought it was going to, like, sit that badly with everyone. Because that one, for some reason, though they had been doing this the whole time, for some reason, that particular time, it just sit badly with everybody. But, like, that just astounds me a little bit. If we had known, we wouldn't have done it. What? That's literally what you aim to do. Fuck. The audacity of the headline, I just wanted to share that part with you. Ooh, wrong thing. Oh, this is an interview with two guys who used to be IDF. Oh, actually, you're not going to be able to hear it. Hold on. Sorry, let me rewind it so that way you can at least see the captions if you can't hear it. Yeah, so they went over to go tear some shit up because Big Brother wasn't looking. That's so scandalous, man. It really is. But I saw that, and I mentioned it a while back, like 2 or 3 streams ago, that there was like an interview with 2 former IDF soldiers, and they had mentioned some of the stuff they got away with, and so like this was actually part of a longer interview with them. These are the 2 guys I was talking about, so I wanted to, kind of get back to that for a minute just to show you who I meant. But anywho. Let's go down to here. Well, let me go over and say hi to everybody, see what's going on here in the chat. Let me scroll up a wee bit. I have a stream. Oh, that's right. You do have a stream here in a little bit. Well, this won't take me too long. Maybe a half hour. We'll aim for a half hour. Right. No shit. Right. Exactly. Oh, if we had only known, like, duh, where do you think all those people were hiding? Like, sorry, my TV blinks occasionally. Sorry. You just got a second notification. That's weird. I swear, YouTube either overdoes it or not enough. It's never just right with this. Oh wow, that is odd. I mean, I'm glad they're, at least putting me out there. I'm surprised. All right, so I try to have it at least quasi order. All right, actually, I messed up because apparently this is supposed to be over here at the end because I was going to have my Middle East shit here. And then near the end, it was going to have, like, not necessarily Middle East shit. But, all right, the headline's there, so we're just going to do it. All right, so I don't know if y'all remember this, but this was some weird-ass shit. Like, so this weird guy was at Nancy Pelosi's house while she was at work, or she's fucking somewhere. Supposedly, this dude broke in, I guess, is what they were trying to put out there. And, like they were like in their underwear or something. It was weird when the cops showed up. And then this dude right here who looks kind of nuts, the guy to the left, to specify, like just attacked this dude right here with a hammer, I guess. But it was weird. And people were like, how did he break in? You know good and well they're going to have motion sensors and surveillance cameras around that property. Nobody's going to get in without somebody knowing. Especially for as much as she pisses people off. There's no fucking way. He just got in somehow. And they end up in their underwear. That was such a fucking weird ass thing. It was so odd. And yeah, it's saying that apparently they're going to re-sentence him. I'm curious about that. Like, all right, so May 17th, 2024, a judge sentenced David DePate, I guess. Poppy? The man who attacked former Speaker House husband with a hammer to 30 years in prison. Legit. However, due to the error, the court must resentence De Papa. Papa? Whatever. For context, the judge forgot to give him a chance to speak at sentencing. You forgot to let the person who is the subject of the situation, who is in court, you forgot to let him speak. I don't know. I think they didn't want him to say some stuff. They probably didn't want him to tell some truths, you know? So that's probably why they probably like, all right, we'll re-sentence you and do this and that, but you got to keep your mouth shut. That's my best guess, honestly. Because it seems kind of weird a judge would forget to let you speak at your own sentencing. Like, okay. All right. Let's see. Court documents revealed that the federal rule requires a defendant to speak before sentencing in case he has any information that might mitigate the sentence. It's kind of weird that the judge would forget that. Like, okay. As the court did not do so, it committed a clear error. The documents read, hence the court has to reopen sentencing to address De Pape. I can't pronounce that name. It's weird. I'm sorry. According to the reports, the court has not yet fixed a date for the resentencing. However, it is being held within 14 days of sentencing hearing, which took place May 17th. That guy's case dates back to October 28th of 2022. Man, it's been out when he broke into Nancy's house. Yo, first off, you really think that in Washington, D.C. or in Virginia or wherever the fuck a lot of these people live, because they're like Connecticut, Virginia, Maryland, they're going to fucking live in those areas. Do you think a politician like her is not going to have surveillance cameras, motion sensors, like those little things that let you know when someone's open a door or a window that kind of chimes your shit? Like, come the fuck on. Like, and they had both their pants off. Like, come on. No, come on. It was a lover's quarrel. We know it. While testifying at trial, the defendant admitted to breaking into the former speaker's house. Oh, San Francisco home. Okay, she's in San Francisco. Still a fancy, well-to-do place. According to his testimony, De Papa planned to kidnap Nancy Pelosi and harm her if she lied to him. What? That does explain why people had no pants on when that news thing was released. Fortunately, I wouldn't say that, but fortunately, the then speaker was in Washington, D.C. at the time. That's weird. Do you think you would, like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like if you were going to kidnap a politician, you would, like, kind of know where the fuck they were at the time. Like, whether or not, like, shit's in session or not. Like, I don't know. Did y'all ever see that footage of him, like, with no pants? She claimed on CNN that they were regular people, that there's no security at her house. Oh my God. First off, I find that so. Hi, Apex. How are you, darling? I find it. Oh, hi, Daniel. I find it so unlikely that she doesn't have security at her house. Because she thought she was a normal person, but she was showing off how fancy all their shit was. See, I believe Apex is correct. I do. Because, you know what? Let me see if I can find the picture. Hold on. Let me see. Somewhere on the internet, I don't think they completely scrubbed it. It has to be somewhere. Let's see. Nancy Pelosi husband attacked. Oh, okay. Well, I want your feet so bad. Images. Okay, so he's in his shirt and underwear. Like, he was not. But he had a hammer in his hand. I thought they were both in underwear. It's still kind of weird that, like, the police showed up. Like, because here's what I'm wondering. Like, how was the police called? I mean, I asked this because, like, if he was being, like, held captive, I doubt the police, like, the guy here would have let him call the police on him. So I assume if something was some kind of automatic thing, then maybe, like, yeah, I think they do have security. Still weird, though. Still completely silly. Huh. Actually, let me see if I can get this picture a little bigger. Hold on. Oh, I don't want a fucking paywall. Ugh, motherfucker. I hate that paywall shit. Alright. Huh. They said he attacked him with a hammer, but actually it looks like he's got his hand on the hammer. Nancy's husband does. And he's trying to pull, and you see this look on his face, he's trying to pull the guy's arm off the hammer. And then he tries to hit him with the hammer. But it's weird he's doing that in front of cops. Why would he try to hit Nancy Pelosi's husband with a hammer in front of police? That seems like a weird move to make. But yeah, Nancy Pelosi's husband has the hammer. I mean, not to say if someone broke in my house, I wouldn't grab something too, but I'm just saying they're making it sound like he just, yeah, I don't know. The whole thing's just. But they made fun of her for a while for it, and then they just kind of like stopped, I guess. Oh, I bet, because I mean, that is kind of a wild thing to do. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not for going to politicians' houses and causing a ruckus. I am. But like, who tries to attack a politician's husband in front of the cops, in front of cameras? Like, that's a dumb thing to do. So yeah, dude doesn't look like he's all there. See, I thought they were both in underpants. That's how I remembered it. I felt sure they both were, but the picture showed only Nancy's husband in his underwear, not the guy. So I don't know, but because he's wearing a dress shirt, so like I mean, I would have thought if he's in his like shorts and stuff, like maybe he's going to bed, but he's wearing his shorts and a dress shirt, so he was in the process of undressing. Right. Hey, all right. Yeah, so he had to pull the hammer from him, and then yeah, I grabbed the hammer. He tried to do that. Well, yeah. All right, so yeah, this guy. So on to the next thing. What is this, Argentina? Yes, it is. So headline. This headline made me laugh. Melee's surprising devotion to Judaism and Israel provokes tension in Argentina. How is it a surprise? Like, that was a surprise. I mean, when he was running for office, people were like, "Oh my goodness," and it showed him like having a little Israeli flag and all this. So I don't know how they're surprised his surprising devotion. I don't know. That's kind of like everybody kind of should have known that he was devoted to Israel, but and he claims to be a libertarian, but dude, he's not. He's not a libertarian. At the base of the sacred Western Wall in Jerusalem City, President Javier Milei of Argentina appears to be in a spiritual trance. That creeps me out. I'm going to be honest. I've always found spiritual trances to kind of creep me out. Uh, I've seen something similar before because, like, if my mom could drag me to church, she did it. And, like, it's like Pentecostal. Because you got your Pentecostals and you got your United Pentecostals. Your United Pentecostals are the ones with the real long hair, the long skirts, and no makeup. And they're dressed like Mormons, kind of. At least the women are. So that my cousins on my mom's side, they're United Pentecostals. I was just like, we were like regular Pentecostal where like, you can have shorter hair if you want. You don't have to dress like a Mormon school teacher. Anyway, but yeah, people be like anything that remotely looks like a spiritual trance or speaking in tongues, it freaks me out a little bit. I'm going to be honest, it does. And like, I don't know. It's always been weird to me personally. Like, always thought it was bizarre. And so him seeing like he was in a spiritual trance does not help me, because I think personally I would call it like mass hysteria. I think it's probably similar to mass hysteria, where you kind of like, I don't know, you get so worked up into what's going on around you, you end up kind of a part of it too. I know there's a name. There's got to be like a name for it, but I can't remember what it's called. but mass hysteria is the closest thing I can think to it, even though it may not be hysterical behavior. But you get so drawn into like what's going on, or like what you think you're supposed to, that like it's almost like a placebo effect as well. It's hard to explain what I mean, y'all probably know what I mean. I just can't think of the wording for it. But yeah. Yeah. Seeing all these politicians going and doing this is so fucking weird. Like, I mean, they're so out in the open about where their loyalties lie. And then we have this lady. So I figured this goes together really nice. So Mexico elects their first woman and Jewish president, which is weird because last I checked, Mexico is actually a very predominantly Catholic country. And it doesn't mean that somebody outside of Catholicism couldn't win an election. But last I heard, the statistic was like 2 or 3% of the world's population would be Jewish. And so it just seems weird that Jewish people are getting like elected to certain offices that you wouldn't expect them to be at. Like, Mexico just seems like an odd fit. Like, America makes more sense because we got a little of everything here, but I don't know. And also, there's some weird shit, there's some weird controversy surrounding this election. Actually, let me see if I can go find it. So, hold on. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, come on! Don't be shy now. Oh, come on! There's not a single result. Like, are they kidding? How is there not a single result, even partially? What? Okay. You think it would at least come up with something? Okay, so yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was just in the presidential election, but like their whole like thing going on. 37 candidates killed. Like, whoo. So yeah, this is from June the 1st. 37 candidates killed ahead of voting. Holy shit. That's insane. And like I said, it wasn't just for the presidential election, it was just different shit going on. So let's see. Assassination of I guess Jorge Cabrera, a candidate running for a council seat. I cannot pronounce that. And Pueblo State marks the 37th candidate murdered ahead of Sunday's vote. I mean, this is pretty crazy. The incident occurred during a political rally. This surpasses the previous record of 36 assassinated candidates set during the 2021 midterm election. I hadn't heard about that going on. But that's fucking nuts. That's one way to rig an election, I guess. You just kill off the candidates. The issue of violent crime has significantly influenced this year's presidential contest. I bet it does. I bet it has. Because people are dead. They can't vote for them. Well, they can't win. The ruling party of outgoing President Lopez, I can't pronounce that, has faced criticism from persistently high murder rates. Yeah. Yeah, she was expected to win, and she did. At 828 non-lethal attacks on candidates during this election season. Holy fuck. Wow. And I really want to know who was doing these attacks. Like, do they know who did any of these assassinations? Because I feel like that's important information. Because see highlights the dangerous mix of powerful drug cartels and often corrupt local governments as a key factor contributing to the risks faced by camp. I bet. They're apparently getting killed at campaign rallies. Wow. He was among the 560 candidates and the election official. Wow. That's fucking nuts. That's some violent shit. That's crazy. But like, did they even find out who did these? I do kind of wonder. But yeah, yeah. Find it. I don't know. I feel like there's something to it. Like I think we found out like who all was killed last time as well. I don't know because it doesn't seem to be any talk or anything talking about having caught the people who did the killings. Well, they're suspecting that criminal gangs and drug cartels, maybe. But yeah, thought I'd share that one with you because, it's crazy. Yeah. Oh, this. Oh. So apparently, some really old codex was found. It's not really to do with the Middle East per se, but apparently they're claiming that it was a sermon that has spurred violence against Jewish people. They're not really explaining what it was, but they were implying that saying things like Jews killed Jesus was anti-Semitic. And I'm like, boy, what a time to be alive. What? Anyway, but yeah, actually, since it's not really political, I am going to copy this and just drop it in the chat, and y'all come check that out later if you would like. He said those pesky drug cartels. I know, right? Darn it. Yeah. It's a lot of attacks. Our politics is crazy, but what the fuck? It put it in two places. That is super strange. I don't know what that's about. But right. Yeah, it's funny they did that to the money changers. I won't say what I'm thinking next, but I'm sure you know. But I don't know what that. I'm sure that's probably a movie reference, but I'm not catching it. But yeah, this is on MSN, so y'all can check that out. All right, so I saw this headline and I thought, oh, okay, so what kind of threat? Like, I mean, it says a terror plot, but like, you know, I was like, well, what cued them into this, you know? And it said terrorism has already marred 2 Olympic Games. Will it affect the third? Unfortunately, even with the I don't know that word, to be honest. I'm sorry. Perspicious law enforcement. Yes, that's looking increasingly likely. At the very least, officials in France say that they've headed off one terror plot before it got to a critical stage. Reported 18-year-old was charged with planning to target spectators at a soccer tournament at this year's Summer Olympics in Paris. Okay, so 18-year-old was supposedly going to do something. The man, unnamed by authorities, was supposedly looking to carry out a violent action on behalf of the Islamic State group at Jeffrey Gutchard Stadium in, I don't do well with French shit either, Saint Antonin, I guess, the home of several matches during the tournament. The man apparently was saying he wished to die and become a martyr. Well, I don't think a soccer game is really a place to do that, but all right. It is unclear what tipped security off to the man. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder what tipped them off to his existence. Like, the guy could have just been talking shit on the internet and they got him for a Facebook post. But saying that you arrested him because of a Facebook post just wouldn't have the same zing to it, you know? And I'm not saying the guy wouldn't have done something. I don't know, but, yeah. But, if you're 18 years old, like how, like I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to get into the Olympics. I mean, don't you need tickets or something? Isn't that kind of expensive? Like, where the hell would an 18-year-old get the money to go in to do something? I mean, if he's just talking shit and saying, "Oh, I want to be a martyr," it sounds like he's not really attached to anything. He's just trying to look like he belongs. He said he's doing it on behalf of the Islamic State group. Probably doesn't even know them. Kind of like, kids running around with like different colored bandanas, pretending they belong to something they actually don't belong to. And that's if the news is even telling the truth on that. Who knows? Oh, this is. I swear to God, this shouldn't. This it doesn't even surprise me anymore. Israeli man thought to be Hamas hostage found dead in his village. Okay, so this shit happened like back in October. You're telling me that nobody's bothered to clear out that village area, that little neighborhood? Like, you gotta be shitting me. A man who had gone missing and presumed to have been taken hostage by Hamas during the October 7th attack has been found dead in his village. Holy shit. It would really help if they would put a list of the people they actually do have. Like, I wish Hamas would help us out. Like, just show us a list of the people you actually fucking have at this point. Because nobody knows who anyone's got. The body of Dolev Jihad, I guess? I don't know. 35. I think the Y is spelled with, or it sounds like a J, I think. So, yeah, Jihad? I don't know. Was recovered from a border village where he lived and identified. The military said, adding that to the investigation required lengthy forensics. Well, they were able to identify other people pretty easily, but whatever. He was likely killed during the kibbutz Nar Oz, I guess, from where Hamas militants had taken several hostages. That amazes me because I assume the more time that goes, the more time that passes, the harder forensics is to do because the DNA and the stuff is not really fresh anymore. So the longer it goes, the harder it is to use any of it. So I think it's crazy that just like, oh, yep, my bad. He's dead. He's not being held hostage. That does make me wonder, like, how can they even tell us how many hostages were taken when, they don't even know who's been taken hostage. Y'all remember that German girl I showed y'all? She, like, died and came back and was found, like, 3 different fucking times. Apparently people mysteriously coming back or ending up dead seems to be a thing for the Holy Land, I guess. And which brings it, because here the UN got away with, or how the UN got away with wildly inflating the casualty numbers. Well, I mean, a lot of times I try to use the Israeli publications for stuff, just so nobody can claim I'm using something that's unbiased or whatever. Hold on. Yeah, I got a hairball. Hold on. Sorry about that. Kind of breathed in wrong. Sorry, I need to take a break for a second. Hello, Troy. How are you doing? Sorry. Man, everybody's showing up right as I'm having like a breathing problem. Hold on. Oh. Sorry about that. Well, usually I don't invite a co-host for stuff like this because this way people in the chat can just say they were there just to, check it out. So nobody tries to blame them and be like, oh, so you have the same views as she does, huh? Because if somebody's a co-host, it might look like they're co-signing it. So usually I'm willing to crash and burn alone. Sorry. Anywho, now I'm trying to remember what I was going to say. Like, oh yeah, they're talking about the inflated numbers. But there's only two people that could have really given us numbers. And if you look at the kind of weapons that are being dropped on Gaza, these aren't very precise weapons. The shockwave can be felt for almost a football field away. And shockwaves can cause internal organ damage. And so, especially if you're getting highly populated areas, I'm not sure those numbers are inflated. In fact, I actually believe that perhaps they're underserving a little bit. I think the number might actually be higher. So it's hard to say for certain. But on May 6th, the UN reported more than 9,500 women and 14,500 children had been killed in Gaza. Excuse me. The office has been reporting similar figures for nearly 2 months. Yet on May 8th, their numbers fell to few. Well, whose calculations fell is what I want to know. On May 8th, the numbers reportedly fell fewer than 5,000 women and 8,000 children. Well, I have to say that I feel like 5,000 women and 8,000 children is still horribly unacceptable. I mean, like, will this tell us who came up with those numbers? All right. So day 215, 30 under 35,000 fatalities. Dang, I don't know what happened to my lungs, but they spazzed out. 1.7 are displaced. 1.1 million catastrophic food levels. Sorry, still having trouble breathing here. And it's cumulative. Oh, all right. So, all right. So this, I guess, is okay. And this is all right. The Palestinians. So I don't know who's like coming up with it. If it's cumulative, it's possible they might be counting one or two people like twice. Like that can happen. But even so, I still, again, like I said, I stand by it. Still, 5,000 women and 8,000 kids is still horribly unacceptable. It is unacceptable. Killing unarmed civilians, especially the more of them you kill, the worse it gets. So if they haven't killed 14,000 kids, then good. I'm glad they didn't kill 14,000 kids. But 8,000 is still horrible. That's still not okay. Honestly, I think these numbers are actually a lie. Because they were, Israel was bragging the first 4 or 5 days that they had taken out like 1,400 people. They claimed they were all Hamas, but you know how they do. But, yeah. And those weapons they dropped they're huge and they have a large impact area. So I really feel like maybe the numbers are being underserved, but I still do not. I still don't think. Oh, okay, it's okay now. Like, no, 8,000 children is hard. That's awful. I really find it just completely not okay to kill unarmed civilians anyway. Sorry, still having trouble breathing. But I figured I'd bitch about that for a second. Okay, this I don't know how anyone likes the box, but sorry, that's 2014. So apparently, I was looking up to see like how many people have been killed in Israel. I should have fucking specified the fucking killing field out there. So this chart shows everybody killed in Israel, and this is for the 2014. The disparity has widened dramatically since January 2005. The conflict changed dramatically. It's killed over 4,000 people, 168 who were Israeli, and 30,838 that were Palestinian. So, yikes. Hold on. Yeah, I really should have specified. Yeah, Reuters is claiming May of this year that 35,000 people, mostly civilian, and driven out more than 2.3 million people from their homes. And it dawned on me last night. I mean, I don't know why only last night to phrase it this way, but it dawned on me that how Israel always refers to pretty much everybody's Hamas. Like, they're like, oh, there's no such thing as civilians. Like, numerous times officials there have said there's no such thing as civilians in Palestine, which is a fucking weird take to have, especially since there's so many kids and they're like elderly people. Like, that seems like that's a really fucking weird ass claim to make. But like, I was sitting here thinking, like, all right, so there's, let's say there's like, 1 million people, 1 million people that are not civilians. I feel like if there was 1 million people that were dangerous and armed in Palestine, Israel would absolutely fucking know it, and they would have an unbelievable surprise on their hands. I don't think Palestine would be losing so badly if everybody there was an armed militant, because that's how they're acting. I'm like, nah, because if they were, we'd all be seeing it, because Israel would be getting its asses handed to them. So obviously they're not all armed combatants, just for the fact they're taking such heavy losses. Oh, and of course, and then we got this mess right here. Iranian. So an advisor was killed in an Israeli airstrike in Syria. Said Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps advisor was killed in an Israeli airstrike in Aleppo. Someone the other day on Twitter posted like a little picture of a map, and it showed little arrows aiming toward Israel and going, all these countries are attacking Israel. And I was like, you've got to be kidding. Like, Israel's been going after Syria. They've been going after Lebanon. They've been, allegedly, finger quotes, might not have been involved in the Iranian president's death, although I think we all kind of know they were. They've been fucking with everybody. And 2 weeks ago, IDF opened fire and killed a couple of Egyptian border guards. So I'm sitting here like, what the fuck? Oh yeah, and Iran also got part of their consulate building blown up by Israel. And all these people are such apologists because they're like, oh, look at them attacking Israel. Like, no, they're retaliating. There is a difference. If anybody's ever, like when you were a kid and there was some asshole you didn't like and they had a smaller asshole sibling, and that sibling would always be going around hitting people and doing shit, but you couldn't do nothing because that kid be like, don't you fucking touch my little brother. Don't you fucking, he can do whatever he wants. That's Israel in America. It is. Little siblings going around fucking hitting everybody, doing stupid shit. And if anybody tries to say, hey, bring your little fucker in, they're like, no, don't talk to him like that. He didn't do this, even though everybody saw him do it. It's that. That's the best way I can explain this fucking mess. That is how I see it. Yeah. I don't. And if I do call them humans, it's not in a good way. Someone jokingly has asked me, like, why do you kind of identify as a cat? It's not because I'm crazy. It's because people are. Look at the horrible shit they do. Like, why would I want to associate with that? Cats are weird in their own way, but not, not like this. This shit, all of this mess. And then this fucking mess right here. I hate this guy. I knew he was trouble from the fucking first day. I did. I looked around. I could not find the footage again because I guess some things are televised live and you sometimes don't get to, find it again later. But when Nancy Pelosi looked super, super excited about him being elected, I was like, yeah, we're fucked. That's not good. If she's happy, we're fucked. I'm sorry if that is how I feel about it. Because, he was like, and he was kind of a nobody in a way. Politically speaking, he was just like, what was he? Like a little senator from Louisiana or some shit? Like, isn't that what he was? Senator? Yeah, they're not going to bother telling me right now. But yeah, I think he's just like some senator from, Louisiana. Hardly anybody ever heard of him. Suddenly just pops up out of nowhere and everybody, a bunch of people elect him. And I'm like, yeah, that's a bit suspicious, I would think. At least my opinion. But yeah, this guy is a fucking nutter. I hate that guy. House passes ICC sanctions resolution with 42 Democrats breaking from the party. I don't fucking blame them. I don't. I wonder if they can give us a list of who all. Oh, Chip Roy. Yeah, Chip Roy was fucking involved. You fucking know it. Chip Roy does sound every bit like some kind of Texas redneck fucker. And he is. The House passed a resolution on Tuesday that would impose sanctions on the ICC if it attempts to prosecute the United States or its allies. Allies, plural, which, So, apparently, as long as you're on, in good favor with America, you can do any kind of horrible war crime, I guess. It's fucking unbelievable. A move championed by Republicans as a party touts strong support of Israel in their fucking rapture fetish. Is really the only way I can describe it. The fucking rapture fetish. It's the only reason. The illegitimate court counteraction act introduced by Representative Chip Roy, because his mom wouldn't give him a better name, I guess, of Texas, passed the lower chamber 247 to 155, with 2 members voting present. I don't know what the fuck that even means. 27 members did not vote. All Republicans were joined by 42 Democrats in voting in favor of it. Well, to me, that's a bunch of people taking AIPAC money. That's really what I'm seeing. It's a list of people who took AIPAC money. The resolution would impose sanctions on the ICC if it engages in any effort to investigate. You're not even allowed to investigate. Wow. To investigate, arrest, detain, or prosecute any protected persons of the United States and its allies. Protected persons. I'm sorry? What's your idea of a protected person? Because I feel like this is the same party. Yes, it's my Republican party, because at least I don't have anywhere else to fucking go. Politically hopeless. I have nowhere else to go. But protected persons, aren't they the ones that laughed about certain groups being protected? Say, oh, we're all the same. Nobody needs a protected group. They're not special. Blah blah blah. Because I really feel like I've heard that from my party, and now suddenly protected persons is a thing. Protected persons of the United States or its allies. You fucking gotta be kidding me. And I don't know which politician did it. Maybe we'll see it further down. But one politician, actually, the guy didn't say who it was. But it was the prosecutor for the ICC said that I think someone else told him the ICC it's not for like America and Israel. It's for like, oh, I can't remember the quote exactly, but it was kind of some classist, racist shit. Like, definitely. Some of these sanctions could come in the form of blocking U.S. property transactions deeming individuals inadmissible to the United States. Pretty sure they don't want to come here anyway. Revoking any visas these individuals may have. Wow. The bill may head to the Senate, where it's will likely be ignored by Democrat leadership. Ugh, wow. Many no votes on Tuesday came from progressive House Democrats who have been vocally criticizing or critical of Israel's prime minister, who faces an arrest warrant application for the ICC over alleged war crimes. Rebecca Ballant of Vermont, who was a hard no on the resolution, said ahead of the vote that the Illegitimate Court Counteractions Act is yet another example of Republicans trying to divide us. I kind of agree. It's kind of a weird day when I'm agreeing with Democrats a lot, but that's kind of where we're at. So yeah, agreeing with somebody just because they're the same party as you is completely ridiculous. So. And Mike Johnson, his thing here, he's worried about the ICC because they're like, why would they not come after America? You know what? I want to hear his explanation. Hold on. Hold on. I want to hear what he's going to say.
Arrest warrant for the Prime Minister of Israel, Defense Minister of Israel, at the time they were fighting for the nation's very existence against the evil of Hamas,
oh, whatever,
a proxy of Iran, is unconscionable to us. And as I said a couple of weeks ago, the ICC has to be punished for this action. We cannot allow this to stand. If the ICC was allowed to do this and go after the leaders of countries whose actions they disagree with, why would they not come after America? You already have leaders.
I feel like he's telling on himself right there. Because guilty people assume they're going to have someone coming after them. Innocent people don't generally assume somebody's going to come get them. You know what I mean? I feel like that says a lot about Mike Johnson right here. Maybe he doesn't realize. Like, why wouldn't they come after us? You're right. They probably will. And they should. They absolutely should. I know I wouldn't be in trouble because I didn't fucking do anything. But the assholes in Washington, D.C., drag them off in handcuffs. Absolutely do it. I think that'd be fucking hilarious. Drag this little bitch along with them. I think that'd be great. Absolutely. Like, it's so funny. We're like, why wouldn't they come after us? Because they only go after people who've committed a crime. So if you've committed a crime, then bye-bye, asshole. That's how I see it. There's so many people that should be in handcuffs right now. Like, what? And all right, so on to this mess here. IDF denies accusations it missed opportunities to rescue hostages from the Shifa hospital. Which one was that? Was that the first hospital they blew up? The second, third, or fourth, or fifth? Like, which one was that? Oh, the beginning of the war. So it was that first one that they actually claimed they didn't do. Like, at first, they're like, oh, we didn't blow that up. And they were trying to convince everybody that Hamas had blown the hospital up. And then they're like, okay, yeah, we did it. So, yeah. Now they're like, yeah. Once they realized they could get away with blowing up hospitals and nobody was going to do anything, they're like, oh, yeah, we can do this. So they just kind of quit bothering about that one. So they were claiming they think they could have saved hostages. If you think there's hostages under there, I feel like it's ridiculous that you're going to bomb it. So I think it was Piers Morgan, I think, was the one that said back when Northern Ireland was having the issues, nobody even thought about, bombing civilian areas of Belfast to kill civilians just because the IRA was hiding amongst them. And he's correct. I mean, the English kind of were doing some pretty fucked up shit, but like in general, like nobody was really thinking about blowing up like, multiple square miles of neighborhoods because IRA was just happening to be in amongst the civilians. Like nobody was doing that. And there's no reason to do that here. Now this, I thought, this headline looked interesting. She's not telling the truth about war crimes. U.S. official resigns over Gaza war and hits out about boss Samantha Powers. I don't know who that is. Let's find out.
left us unable to be moral leaders on climate change and all the other pressing.
This is not quite matching with the headline. I think this is probably belonging to something else. All right. So Alex Smith, a public health expert working in the humanitarian field, read all of Samantha Power's books before he joined the agency she now leads. Blah, blah. But this week he delivered a blistering criticism of the woman he respected for years when he resigned from the U.S. Agency for International Aid in protest over her failure to speak out against the same crime she'd built a career exposing. It's amazing how many people have just like about face and like suddenly, move the goalpost when it's convenient. So apparently, so this is apparently playing it down and trying to dismiss what's been going on over there. Which is why I'm wondering, like, is the UN really inflating the numbers? Because I think that if you've got such a densely populated area with like 3 or 4 million people in an area, and you've just been nonstop bombing it for over 200 something days, I feel like 35,000 might not be a proper number. It might be higher. I think it was some other person, like somewhere, that was more or less an expert on that was saying that the numbers might be higher. I wish I remembered who. I wish I had saved it. I'm so sorry I did not. Yeah. A lot of people have quit over this. I mean, a few people in the government have quit as well. Oh, this is because of Oklahoma. This is some Oklahoma shit. Lawmakers says Ryan Walters, top advisor, is a ghost employee and wants the attorney general to investigate. I'm not entirely sure. I've been paying more attention to the international news and what's been going on here a little bit, but they have been after Ryan Walters forever. But to be honest, he gives me used car salesman vibes. He really does. Like, he picks like one thing that's like a really hot topic and he just drills it into the ground. And it's like he's still campaigning, even though he's already won the office. But he does a lot of showboating with little results. It's the whole thing. Like, you'll have to look him up. Oh, this. Fuck me. Biden administration allowing Iranian military activity in the Gulf of Mexico. No, I like, what the fuck? Because here's what's going to happen. Something stupid is probably going to happen. Because think about this. Look at who Iran's having a problem with right now. Us, and more directly, Israel. So if something stupid transpires off the Gulf of Mexico, it will cause America to use it as an excuse to go into a full-scale war. The process of Iran moving their naval vessels to the Gulf of Mexico first began in February of 2023. Wallace reported that Iran has been able to move these vessels into the Gulf of Mexico using their ally China's control of the Panama Canal. Okay. So they've been able to move these there because of China's control, but it's saying the Biden administration is allowing Iranian activity. I feel like there's a lot of weirdness in that. Like, maybe I'm just kind of having a dumb day, but for some reason that's not registering correctly for me. But, I mean, I would say no offense to Iran, but I'm not really a fan of Iran either. I mean, I like they're kind of giving Israel a run for their money. Like, don't get me wrong, but like, I don't like Iran generally. Really at all. I'm not really a fan of any country that has a lot of human rights violations, to be honest. Like, so that's that. But Wallace emphasized China's role in bringing Iranian vessels into the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, why is someone allowing that to happen, though? Like, they keep emphasizing China like they want us to blame China. Bruh, they're all the way over the fuck over there, and the Gulf of Mexico is like way just a little bit south of me. So I feel like, since there's a certain amount of water near the United States that that is our water, whatever I don't remember what you call it, but the U.S. waterway, whatever. Like, I don't know. I feel like this is asking for a lot of fucking problems. I really do. Because if Iran does anything stupid to us, or if something stupid, like our government sets up a false flag event, it's going to be easy to blame Iran because they're right fucking there. But of course, I'm not going to really blame Iran completely. I will still blame our government because they allowed it to fucking happen. And if a war breaks out and some for whatever fucking reason, an Israeli ship happens to wander by and decides to, give it a USS Liberty action in the middle of our fucking Gulf on an Iranian ship, we're going to have a fucking mess there because we shouldn't have any foreign vessels in our waterways right now. Especially right now, I really feel like everybody should just go fucking home. Everybody. Just take your ship, go fucking home. And it's just fucking. The Jewish community targeted by almost every terrorist organization. Really? The FBI director really thinks the Jewish community is being targeted by every terrorist organization. The melodramatics just don't fucking stop, do they? God bless it. They really just don't ever quit. A lot of those fucking hate crime type things turned out it was actually the person who did it to themselves. That's really been a thing recently. So, and that's the ones that were found. That's not even including the ones that nobody ever found or caught on to. Like, they're being targeted by every terrorist organization. You gotta be shit. I'm sorry. That is so melodramatic sounding. I'm sorry. And since when do we listen to the FBI? The FBI is just a smaller dick version of the CIA. They're both fucking liars. They're both shit starters. Yeah. An attempted attack on the U.S. Embassy in Lebanon. Well, Israel's been attacking Lebanon, so that's kind of crazy that would happen, but let's see. Lebanese soldiers sought and captured a gunman attempting to attack the U.S. Embassy inside Beirut Wednesday. Lebanon's military says the attacker, described only as a Syrian national, was taken to the hospital. So a Syrian national was in Lebanon to attack the U.S. Embassy. Are there not U.S. embassies in Syria? Or near there? Is there not? I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But it seems like maybe he could have saved himself a trip. I don't know. I feel like it's a bunch of bullshit. I can't really trust anything they say anymore. Well, we basically read something similar. I was hoping it would show me a list of the idiots that fucking voted in favor of this. See if there's anybody in Oklahoma I can go try to bully or harass for their participation in this. I'm really hoping they'd give me a list. Oh, whoa. So, hold on. All right. It's Reuters. When was this? 17 hours ago. Okay. So they're going through these numbers down here. All right, so Netanyahu says the ICC prosecutor's decision was absurd, blah, blah, blah. Israel launched an air-ground offensive in Gaza last October, blah, blah, blah. Killing around 1,200 people, taking 250 hostages. Well, I think we kind of debunked the 250 hostages part already, in previous live streams. According to Israel. According to Israeli tallies. Okay, about 128 hostages remain in Gaza. Still sounds like maybe some bullshit, however. The Israeli military campaign has killed more than 36,000 people in densely populated Gaza. See, okay, so if they're going by Israeli tallies, which may have just been for this part, but I would assume they would have gotten all these statistics from the same fucking tally. And if they did, then that would imply that Israel is agreeing that it was indeed 36,000 people, and they're lying about their numbers, like they were that UN supposedly inflating the numbers bullshit. Just saying. It's a funny thing about people who are really bad at lying is they keep fucking doing it, and they keep making more of an obvious mess of their lies. They can't keep them straight. Now this, I found myself a little bit flabbergasted because we've all heard about Boeing's airplanes falling apart, doors popping off mid-flight, all this. And so it says here, after 2 attempts, Boeing tries again to launch first NASA astronaut flight. Oh my God. Y'all don't even make a safe airplane. You want to send people into outer space or lower orbit, depends on what things you believe. Because, here we're down for anything. But I really feel like Boeing is the last company in the world that should be attempting to send people into outer space. Because like, their planes aren't safe. And that's only 32,000 feet. What the fuck? Like, I can't believe they're trying to get into this right now. Like, are they hoping this is going to, like, I don't know, help clean up their image? Maybe, I don't know, making planes that aren't falling apart. Oh, and don't forget, Boeing also killed some of their whistleblowers. They had a few whistleblowers come forward and they ended up dead. Like, what, 4 or 5 of them? Something like that. It was something really fucking ridiculous. Like, it was so obvious. You knew it was them that did it. But Boeing geared up again Wednesday for its first astronaut launch, held up for years by safety concerns. Gee, you think? There was a third launch attempt for NASA test pilots Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams in Boeing's Starliner capsule. Starliner. Wait a minute. Oh, wait, I'm sitting like Titanic, but that's like Starliner. But that's just really, after all this, as much fun as we've made it for Boeing, killing off its whistleblowers and having planes fall apart, I feel like they're aiming a little high here. God help me. Let me get back over here real quick. See everybody. Hello, BK Dan. Hello, Bone. Oh, you had me worried there for a second. I was like, what? Oh, thank you. You're such a sweetheart.
You're awesome, Big Bird.
Yeah, I mean, all the parties are a fucking mess, really. So I might as well just stay right where I am because, I mean, there isn't anywhere really to go. I mean, I usually agree with anything that weakens the UN. Except now, I feel like the UN might actually be doing what they're supposed to be doing, at least a little bit. Like, I mean, I think they've been doing a better job for a long time, but I think it's interesting because, and like so many people who are against the ICC right now, they were jumping for joy when the ICC talked about going after Putin. They're like, hell yeah, get him. And now that they're using the same rules to go after Israel, they're like, how dare you? It's like, wow. Oh God. You know what? I don't want to go to jail, but if we have to get Ryan Walters, by God, we're gonna have to then because that dude, no, don't let that dude become governor. No. Oh. No. Ah.
Hello.
Aw. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, us too. Oh yes, when I said it, yeah, go home. I mean us too. Absolutely, we need to get our shit out of there too. Everybody needs to go to their respective corners and think about what they've done. Absolutely, yes, us too. We're one of the worst. We are one of the most invasive, one of the most, oh my God, like entitled fucking places. We commit war crimes, and then George Washington, fuck me, no, sorry, George Bush decides he's going to pass a thing where it'll make it illegal to try to pull us into the ICC for committing crimes. I mean, the audacity of that. Yes. Yeah, I figured. So yeah, if we have one in Syria, dude should have just might as well just done it in Syria. Seems weird he would have gone to fucking Lebanon for that. Oh, what 4 nations are those? Because they're probably on the list to be captured, probably. Or there are medical experiments going on right now there. But because according to Ron Paul, there are only literally 4 nations left on Earth that don't have U.S. bases or had. Okay, I want to know what those are because something bad's probably going to happen to them if it hasn't already. Because America is it's kind of like Britain was a curse, like a cancer. Like there was nowhere they didn't touch and try to control and take over. And America hasn't done much differently, really. Yeah, we don't have anywhere to go. Like, except for keeping inappropriate stuff out of the school books, which is fair. I agree with that because that is some fucking weird ass shit. Like, there should not be adult shit in the school books. Like, there shouldn't be. But other than that, what has Ryan Walters actually fucking done? Like, ask them. And ask them, like, in a concern-friendly way, so they'll tell you. Yes. Right? Wait, what? Thank you, Christopher. Wait. Did I miss something? Oh, hello, Multigun. How are you? My goodness, I haven't seen you in a bit. Okay, I feel like I'm kind of crazy because you're saying this, but I don't see Christopher Kane in the chat at all. I feel like I'm taking credit. Am I just blind? Am I just not seeing it? Seeing Curtis, BK Dan, Multigun, the lovely Miss Frosty Broccoli, and Mr. Frosty Broccoli. But yeah, I'm not. Okay, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. What the fuck? How do I not see him? Where? That's what's tripping me out because I don't see him listed anywhere. Like you can see right here on my screen, you can see who I can see. And there's Curtis, and there's BK. There's Bone. Curtis again. Biggest Bird. Multi-gut, but no Chris Kane. YouTube is fucking with my chat again, I guess. That's crazy. What the fuck? Okay, so apparently he balanced the books. I could have sworn there was an issue where he had more or less balanced the books, and they said that a bunch of shit was like not quite right, and they wanted to audit, and they were fighting the audit. Isn't that what happened? Well, I mean, it seems weird. I mean, it would almost have to be him because, like, why else would you have the name pop up? I'm more likely to believe YouTube has screwed up somewhere, to be honest. Okay. Couple more things. Okay. So a panel recommends the FDA reject MDMA as a treatment for PTSD. For those who don't know, actually, I don't even know how you would describe it. I wouldn't know if I would describe it necessarily as a hallucinogenic per se, like MDMA. Like, it's supposed, I guess it's kind of like a hint of hallucinogenic. I don't know what you'd call it, but definitely alters the brain. And if they are basically rejecting MDMA as a treatment for PTSD, I assume that it actually does work. Because most of the shit that fucks people up, the FDA has approved. So I assume they just keeping themselves in business by rejecting things that will actually work and help people. So I really hope that doctors and stuff kind of, go rogue and just start giving MDMA to people who need it. I would assume this is a microdose situation, hopefully, because MDMA is kind of fucking scary. I've heard. Anyway, at least I think yes, MDMA. Wait, am I confusing MDMA with something else? Like, hold on. Is that for ecstasy or is MDMA something else? Hold on, give me a second. I don't fucking remember. Shit. What is this? Oh, okay, it's ecstasy. Okay, it's not the pill I thought it was. My bad. Sorry. I was thinking of, I don't remember what I was thinking of. So, okay, so basically you're not supposed to take ecstasy. They don't think it'll help PTSD. I believe it probably can. Some people might want something smoother like mushrooms. So, I would go for that personally if you got like 6 hours to kill. Anyway. Oh, and then this mess. Chinese illegal immigrants surge at U.S. southern border, proves our worst fears. I don't know if that's, I'm sure it's one of the many worst fears. Oh, 30,000 plus encountered at San Diego sector. Holy fuck. And who brought them over? Like, what ship or barge did they get onto that let them come across? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I mean, I'm curious. These folks didn't just like walk from Honduras or something. You know, they were brought a good part of the way and then dropped off. A group of Republican lawmakers is warning the Biden administration about the rise in Chinese nationals coming across the southern border. I wish I had a South Park clip ready where they would that little wall of China situation, trying to keep them the Mongolians out. Like, I wish that I could play that clip for you right now, just for the fuck of it. Anyway, claiming it proves their worst fears about what they see as a weakening of enforcement under the administration. The 20 lawmakers, led by Representative Bob Good of Virginia, highlights the dramatic rise in encounters at our nation's borders with individuals on terrorist screening. Well, we've got terrorist screening data set up. An unprecedented, otherwise unexplained rise in Chinese nationals, largely adult males. Well, I gotta say, that definitely doesn't look good for us. Because it kind of makes you wonder, because, like, I mean, I don't know China very well, but from my understanding, you're watched everywhere you go. So I imagine it's very hard to sneak out of the country. In fact, I've heard that people have tried to sneak out of China and try to get into Russia. I've heard, and it doesn't necessarily fare well for them. Like, they have to, like, I don't know. People try to escape China. So I assume that if these folks have left, it is because they were allowed to leave or were sent away, I assume. So we have 30,000 plus just coming through the California corridor. Whatever, what was it? San Diego? Was that what it was? Where was that? I think it was on the screen, probably. San Diego. Okay. So San Diego. So that's 30,000 just in the San Diego sector. Like, one needs to really start asking who's sending them over here. And let's take a quick look at something real quick. Let's just blow this up. Look how nice and clean and new that luggage is. Look at that. Those are nice. Those are nice and clean and new. That I don't see any scuff marks. Look at that. And their clothes look clean. I mean, they're wearing darker clothes, so if they had a lot of like sand and dirt, it would show up on that. So the clothes look clean. The luggage looks fucking nice. I have like a suitcase, but it looks like it's had its ass kicked by the TSA. This luggage is nice. A nice wheelie kind too. Actually, it all looks like it would fit properly above the overhead compartment. So it all looks like maybe they took a flight somewhere down south and walked up. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, let's poke around, see what else we see. Hold on. Pink is not his color. Someone should tell him. But look how, yeah, that luggage is clean and nice and new. That's pretty. Very nice. Let's go back to the footage. I'm not going to. Because usually, like, I don't know, usually you kind of judge, like, how new something is or how, by the luggage. Because most people don't really take super good care of the luggage, It just gets dragged around, full of stuff, dragged around. So, like, yeah. So if the luggage looks new, it probably is brand new. I don't want Fox News hitting me with a copyright. That's why we're. Well, they said mostly men, so I mean, I think it is, but there is quite a few women in here. This group is female. This group, these two are female. This one might be. I can't tell from here. Female, male, female. I think female as well. Also female. Still, 30,000 people coming up is a problem. Like, don't get me wrong, but yeah, see, those look brand new. The wheels are fucking clean. Even the wheels are fucking clean on this. That's how new this is. Even the wheels are nice and new looking. Like, you see? Look at those. Look how clean those shoes are. Look at that. Because you got a bunch of dirt and sand around here. And look how clean the top of those shoes are. What the fuck? I feel like this is all so suspicious in this. He is not Chinese, at least not genetically. Pretty sure he's not. I mean, I guess he could have been born there. Like maybe his family lived there for a while. I don't know, but he is not genetically Chinese. So. But yeah, so these people wearing some really clean clothes. And not to be mean, but these two, they are not starving to death by any means. Like, they are not starving. Just saying. I feel like a lot of this is weird because, I don't know, we're getting bullshitted. I'm going to be honest. We are getting bullshitted from that. And then, finally, we come to this. FBI reinstates security clearances for a former employee who raised questions about January 6th. Well, fuck me. We have, because I assume that's what the FBI is supposed to do. They're supposed to ask questions and investigate things. So the FBI is reinstating the security clearance of a former employee who raised questions. So somebody dared to ask questions and they fucking stripped him of his security clearance. Well, to me, that tells me the FBI was involved. Because they've already now finally come out and said they had a bunch of informants and shit in there. And when the committee was like, well, can you tell us how many? They're like, no. Yeah, that's not a good sign. So I'm going to assume that this means the FBI was also had people in there doing stupid shit on January 6th. Because someone who dares ask about it, one of their own, they stripped his clearance? Yeah, that's not suspicious. A former FBI employee who raised questions about January 6th attack on the Capitol has his security clearance reinstated and was awarded 27 months of back pay after being suspended in February. Wow, of 2022. So they suspended him without pay for asking questions. That tells me who the guilty party is right there. So basically the headline should have said FBI implicated in January 6th. That's what the headline should fucking tell me. That's what it says to me. That's what I see when I see this. Because if he was asking questions, which there should be nothing wrong with asking questions, and they weren't involved, then they shouldn't have been mad at him for asking, because he's just, spitballing, checking out different angles, trying to get it, No, they. Now, I'm glad they had to award him 27 months of back pay. I'm glad. Good for him. I'm glad he got his money. Hell fucking yeah. And not very often I would cheer on someone who's the FBI, but technically he's a former employee. Because fuck those people. I wouldn't want to go back to work with them either. Fuck them. You can't trust those assholes. The FBI can't be trusted. That poor guy, his security clearance stripped because he fucking asked questions. Oh, the FBI cited security concerns related to his allegiance to the United States. Wow. So because you're questioning the official narrative, you question his allegiance to the United States. Wow, that is some fascist shit. Fucking fascist. Well, I'm glad he got his money, but fuck the FBI. And if the FBI is watching and listening, then, haha, fuck the FBI. Okay. Can't find the information. It is okay. It'll be found eventually. Well, folks, I have to leave. I know I'm actually about to hop off. I actually took longer than I thought I was going to. Aw, thank you. Lots of hugs to you, Sashi. He was born that way. I can hear Lady Gaga in my head when I hear that "Born That Way." I don't know if that's what you meant, but that's what happened. You gotta pretend to sleep. That's okay. I'm about to wrap this up anyway. So lots of hugs to BK Dan. Lots of hugs to Sashi and Curtis. And the awesome bunches of broccoli, Mr. Broccoli and Mrs. Broccoli. And Sashi, of course, if I hadn't said it already. And of course, the fabulous little Bone. We love him so much. He's so great. And the awesome Deckle Bird. He's so great. Yeah. And of course, Multi-Gun Man. Love you always. All these fat. And awesome Troy Pacelli. God, I hope I'm saying that right. Jeez. And oh yes, Apex Comics. Awesome. I'm pretty sure there was Daniel somewhere in here. I know somebody said hi to him, even though I didn't quite see him. I saw him someone say hello to him. So yes. Yeah, there he is.
Okay.
So yes. I doubt he's still here, but hugs to everyone. I love all y'all. Y'all are super awesome. Now, don't forget, Curtis is about to go work on about to get his stream started. So be ready to jump over there. I think he dropped a link already. It's going to be way up there, but I think he already dropped a link. So we're up in the chat. You can run to his channel, and we can go say hi to him. Love y'all. All right, I'll just end the stream. This time I won't play the little song. I don't want to get anyone burnt out on it. But anyway. Yeah.